It's really hard for any athletes in any sport to continue. Like, a lot of the time, it's you want to quit. Obviously, there are a lot of sacrifices that I've made, and I've put in a lot of hours, a lot of time and energy, and I often wonder, is it worth it? As I'm getting older, obviously, I've had more and more injuries and lost more friends, and these experiences all become factors in my mind when my gut instincts are telling me to do something or not do something that I may have done, without even thinking in the past. And I think it's just, looking back, it's amazing. I quit ski racing twice before the Olympics. I didn't in a million years think I would go and win a gold medal. So when they put ski cross in the Olympics, I knew that was an opportunity I had to seize. I just really had myself convinced that it was meant to be, and that everything in my life had led me to be in the perfect position to go out there and perform on that day. I can't believe how well everything came together for me. Everything that I hoped would happen or wanted to happen, I've then made happen. I'm one of the lucky few who was born and raised in Whistler, British Columbia. I really value the sort of mountain culture, and I think there is a lot to be learned from it. My parents actually had me on skis when I was a year and a half old. I wouldn't really call it skiing, but they had me in ski boots, skiing down the carpeted steps into our sunken living room. But really the first ski experience that I actually remember would have been when I was quite young. Like, I actually do have a vivid memory of skiing under the magic chair in between my parents' legs, so I would have been probably 3 or 4. I grew up skiing all over the mountain with my parents and got into racing at about the age of 10. My parents worked really hard. My mom worked 2 jobs to put me through ski racing. We always bought used equipment. My parents were just always about, let's go out there and have some fun. They never pushed me. And raced Alpine until I was 16, and then that's kind of when the ski cross career spawned. When I first started with the Whistler Mountain Ski Club, it was interesting, the culture of it. Like, looking back on it now, I remember just the kids just seeming so cool to me. The kids that were good at skiing and then good in the race course, and that's part of why I decided I do want to do this ski racing thing. But for the most part, I realize now I was actually quite different from them. I didn't really have this lifelong goal of becoming an Olympian or even competing on the World Cup circuit. A lot of the people who I looked up to aren't household names. They aren't necessarily people that achieved great results in their respective sports. It was always people who just exuded a genuine love for what they did and were truly passionate about their sports, and were out there doing them for the right reasons, in my opinion. So I think just growing up, I think that's always been what's driven me and what's motivated me, is just following my heart. Ski cross really teaches you to push yourself, of course. I think any extreme sport does. It really taught me to be independent and to, take matters into my own hands. And I think part of it is that ability to overcome, the nerves and the fear and pushing it right to the edge, to your limits. Ski cross is kind of an all or nothing sport. It's not the same with downhill mountain biking. The two are so similar. But I think a lot of it comes down to these sort of instincts or just sort of natural abilities that you either have or you don't. But I think I've been indirectly training for the sport my whole life. I was just raised, being able to adapt to different terrain, varying terrain, and I just have that like drive to push myself and go as fast as I can, and that's why I've had so much success as a ski cross athlete. 2008, 2009, our world champs year before the Olympics was really like a really big learning period for me. I remember my coach saying, this is all just training for the Olympics. Like these World Cup events, these are just preparing you for the Olympics. These are to show yourself that you can beat all of these girls on any given day. Like going into the final run at the Olympics, I felt like I somehow managed to channel all the nerves and all the pressure and expectations into a positive thing. And I remember telling myself, embrace it, like you're never gonna be this nervous for anything again in your whole entire life. But once I crossed the line, my initial emotion was relief, which I think is quite interesting. I just think it shows how much I appreciated all the support I had behind me and everything that everyone put into it. I was just relieved that I hadn't let them down. and it just felt so surreal. It's all a bit of a blur to me now. It just all felt like a dream. People don't understand as we thrive on the feelings that these sports evoke in us. Like, this is what we live for. For me, there's nothing that brings me more joy than like ripping down the run on my skis or, down a run on my bike. There's nothing like it. The decision to retire from ski cross has been the toughest decision of my life. I mean, most of my best friends are people I grew up ski racing with, and I'm really lucky to obviously have been part of the Canada ski cross team. It's the best ski cross team in the world. But I think, having accomplished what I have, the decision's going to be hard no matter what and no matter when. And there just doesn't seem to me like there will be a better time than now. I honestly feel like anybody given the opportunities that I've been given could have gone and done what I've done. Like I feel like I'm the lucky one that got to go out there and represent what we're all about. I've chased after my dreams and my goals and definitely put the time and energy in, but for the most part, if you just attack it one step at a time and don't get too hung up on the end result that you're after, everything is achievable.